Hotep Senuhena Senut Itiren Ishakan Lugu Kemet. I hope you're doing well. Let me check the sound first of all. Microphone check 1, 2. Sounds good. That's perfect. Now, the title of this video is Guess Who Said That the English word fly comes from the hieroglyphic Kheper. Many people pronounce it Kheper because the H sound is a bit difficult for English speakers as well as some French speakers. So, bear with me.
Fly in English is the same word, except we don't have the k prefix sound in there in the word fly. And so the word, the phoneme R is now L in English, and the P sound is F, in English. It's just simply the word. It's a very old word. It's all the Indo-European is in every African language.
You've heard it from the horse's mouth. Now I'm just going to show you how I came across that video. All right. Now, right now, as I speak, it is about 4 a.m. in New York. So I'm not expecting to have a lot of interaction. So you see yesterday's live stream. Allah is an indigenous African god, a Sahim or fake Garfield's master teacher. Now when I scroll down, okay, it's not showing here. If I do newest, there it is. Chuck Morgan, who once again has a very nice presentation about the Sumerians, and I have shared it more than once. This is what he wrote. This pseudo-linguist Campbell Dunn isn't done spreading his wacko versions of history. In the words of one of his staunch critics and actual linguist, we find the following. I just want to say it loud and clear. Graham Campbell Dunn's work is crackpot science. Don't believe it. Don't even read it. And this is coming from Mark Dingemans, who is an associate professor at the Center for Language Studies of Radboud University in Nijmegen, the Netherlands. Because people like Campbell Dunn, who could have good intentions by reversing the lies made by early archaeologists and linguists, may be further complicating the situation by releasing faulty data and pseudoistic claims. Just look at the widespread nonsense made by equally wacko like Herman Hamstein claiming the Sumerians were black. And you know the funny thing is that when it comes to Osahim or fake, his inspiration often comes from people who are not necessarily qualified or accepted in their respective alleged fields. For example, recently, it's been going around saying that Chem doesn't stand for black. After a title, Chem doesn't mean black. That's just because of their riparian land slash riparian country hypothesis inspired by Jean-Claude Mboli, who is not a linguist. Then indeed, there's this claim at one point that like Sumerian was kind of what Bantu or Niger Congo, one of the two, and this claim that the Sumerians were black coming from that guy Hermstein, or I'm not sure how to pronounce it, who is not a linguist either. So I heard, so I was told. Now Campbell Dunn, maybe he is. I don't know his credentials, but I was looking for this quote here, and as I look for this quote, someone sent me this link about Campbell Dunn. And yesterday, I think it was Chuck Morgan, but somebody in the chat stated that GJK Campbell Dunn claimed that Basque, and that's the area between, around France and Spain, is a Niger Congo language. So I was like, what? So this is what I found. See that? Basque as Niger Congo by GJK Campbell Dunn. And you have his email address here, as a matter of fact. Now, I'm going to share the link first. Basque as Niger Congo language. GJK Campbell Dunn. Hold on, let me close this. If we read the beginning of this article, it says, in this account, we will systematically compare Basque morphology and sounds with Niger Congo. The evidence will demonstrate that Basque, without doubt, is a Niger Congo language. So I don't need to say no more. If linguists have the time, they will give us their insight about that claim. And around this dude, we found the boldest claims ever. Now, this website, if you go to the root URL, that's what you have. The golden age of African civilization. Then you have Mesopotamia, 2000 BC, well, between 2000 BC and 1500 AD, and you have China. So once again, we can conclude that we are dealing with some people who claim that the Mesopotamians slash Sumerians and all those people used to be black. Just like that website that I have labeled all black everything. So when I was looking for the quote of the linguist who labeled Campbell Dunn's work as crackpot science, but guess what I found? This message board, egyptsearch.com. You see? And here we have a post from Asahim O Fake. dated November 2011. And he gave a bio about the author J.K. Campbell Dunn. So if he has a PhD, because on the previous site PhD was mentioned, then we can conclude that probably at this time he didn't have his PhD yet, because I don't see PhD written there, but you know. Now, you see here it says this book applies a comparative method to prove that Sumerian is not a language isolate. It is related in its vocabulary, grammar, phonology to the Niger-Congo group of languages. So here you have the linguistic exercise. And then, who participated in that thread? Clive Winters. Oui. Tiens, vas-y. Clive Winters here. Clive Winters again. Clive Winters, Clive Winters. Clive Winters again. And Dana Marnish. A lot of you don't know Dana Marnish. In summary, Dana Marnish is the same kind of people who say that everybody was black. Damn near everybody except the Russians, except the Caucasians. So she will, you know, state that the Arabs of the 7th century used to be black. And apparently she has a book out, or she's about to have a book out, because she was on Sanada's platform about that. You know, she's the kind of person that agrees with the so-called scholarship of Dr. Wesley Muhammad, which is mainly linguistic acrobatics and linguistic gymnastics. You should ask Dana Marnish what Abyad means in Arabic, if it means white or black. You should ask her if Prophet Muhammad was described as Abyad in Sahih Bukhari, Sahih Muslim, and other compilations of hadith. So that was just for the record. But there's another thing that I found. Hold on. Oh yeah, I can close this one. There's another thing that I found. And it's going to surprise you, brothers and sisters. This is what I found. See here, and I'm going to let you hear it. We have a video entitled Capoeira et Égypte ancienne, origine du mot capoeira, première partie. Obviously, that's French. So listen a little bit.
L'Égypte ancienne en temps commun. Vous devez d'abord connaître quelques-uns des noms africains pour l'Égypte. Le nom Égypte vient d'une mauvaise prononciation grecque d'une ancienne ville dans la vallée du Nil, prononcée un peu comme.
Okay, so you get it. It's in French. Now, listen to this part here.
Longtemps prouvé l'unité culturelle de l'Afrique. Les chercheurs tels que Cheikh Anta Diop ont depuis longtemps prouvé l'unité culturelle de l'Afrique, qui peut être vue à travers l'ensemble de ces civilisations, y compris l'ancienne Kemet. Et les linguistes comme Théophile Obenga, Jean-Claude Mboli et Assar Imhotep continuent d'apporter des preuves d'une unité culturelle.
So, the funny thing is that after coming across that video, I found out that there was an English one, so I will play the English video. The lady said, and linguists like Théophile Obenga, Jean-Claude Mboli, and Assar Imhotep, for a good decade, he has succeeded in false flagging and falsely claiming to be a linguist. But he has polluted the minds of black people worldwide. If he had integrity, he would state for the record that many, if not most, of his claims are erroneous. And he could start from scratch and come correct with his scholarship. But over the years, even when it comes to the plagiarism, which is worse than all these claims, I mean, stealing people's work, that's worse. That's the worst of all. One of the worst things in academia. So since he's not coming clean with that, we cannot really expect him to come clean and state for the record that he was incorrect. I mean, he has no problem saying that Diop was incorrect, that Theophilo Benga was incorrect, that Dr. Obadele Cambon was incorrect, that James P. Allen was incorrect, and the list goes on, that Rickety Amen was incorrect. He has no problem stating that. But for him to say that he's funky claims such as
in the Ogun book, I go into the linguistics to Allah, and this is where I would disagree with Brother Shaka, is actually in the Egyptian text. The god Allah is an indigenous African god. In ancient Egypt, Allah is in his full form. Heru would be the same thing as Allah. These Hebrews, come from and who they are specifically, because based upon my research, these are African people. And this is how we know that the Hebrews, first of all, you got to understand that Hebrew is an African language. Your Fulani people, your Afar people, your Avriga people, these are your original quote-unquote Hebrews. Then when you do a linguistic analysis, you understand that the Hebrew language is cognate with the Yoruba language.
how you doing, Pan-African Designs and the Power. Yeah, I mean, it's so surprising, man. The level of pseudoism. I don't know if that's a proper word when I say pseudoism, but So you have some French speakers who think that the dude is a linguist and they are quoting the dude. So now what I will do is just play. It's only 3 minutes long. I will play the English video. Where is it? Oh, there it is. And I will even share the link to you. I will share it in the chat. So it's called Capoeira in Ancient Egypt, Origins of the Word Capoeira, Part 1. Take those claims with cautions. Particularly for the word fly, capoeira, who knows? Who knows? The fly, I'm surprised now. The English word fly, deriving from the Meduneter Kheper. Wow, who knows? So let's listen to the English video.
What does capoeira and ancient Egypt have in common? First, you'll need to know some of the original African names for Egypt. The name Egypt is based off of a Greek mispronunciation of an ancient city in the Nile Valley, pronounced something like Ptka, Ptah. A couple of the original African names for the country we now call Egypt are Kemet and Tameri. Now that you know real African names for the country, let's get to the connections between Kemet and capoeira. Connection 1. Bantu languages. The ancient Africans that founded and controlled Kemet during its first two golden ages, known in Egyptology as the Old Kingdom and the Middle Kingdom, spoke an African language closely related to modern Bantu languages. Our word capoeira comes from a Bantu language word kipura, meaning to fly or to flutter, like a chicken or a zebra. Kipura links directly to the scarab beetle found in Kemet's Medu Neter, later known as the Hieroglyphic.
Now, here, you see this symbol here? That's from the Seshu. I mean, you have those pseudos and all the people, the satellites around this master pseudo, who is once again Garfield's master teacher. Yes, the one who said that Allah is an indigenous African God. That's Garfield's master teacher. And Hebrews are Africans. And the Hebrew language is an African language. So this is a Seshu, this is Iri Isefet. The inspiration goes deep.
Hieroglyphics, which is a Greek translation of the original African name. In the Nefer, which is the oldest known writing script in the world, the scarab beetle is a triliteral glyph that holds the phonetic value Kpr. They did not write out their vowels, as with many of the later writing systems that would come from it, including the Phoenician script, where we get our alphabet, the Hebrew script, and the Arabic script. Quick linguistic note: when you're looking for the history of a word, the consonants are like the skeleton of the word. The Kpr consonant root that brings us words like capoeira is an ancient African.
Now here, it says at the bottom, a Sahimofakes presentation from the Science versus Mythology conference. You see? And we have his website address, and we have the year 2015.
Consonant root that lives throughout all African language families, and it has to do with movement. Example: this is why the scarab beetle is holding the sun with wings. It is representing the movement of the sun. Kheper, Khepura, and Capoeira all come from the same ancient African consonant root Kpr, and it is a consonant root that has to do with different forms of movement. So when you see the ancient African scarab beetle written in the Medu Neter, you're seeing one of the oldest known written forms of our word capoeira. All this beetle talk makes you think about Besouro, right? Connection 2. Even though the Africans were kidnapped, shipped across the ocean, forced to speak Portuguese, forced to become Catholic, and forced to worship European gods, they still continued to see the world as Africans in many ways. And, like their ancient Bantu-speaking brothers and sisters of ancient Kemet, they too venerated the beetle, Kheper, for its movement and flight. Scholars such as Dr. Sheikh Anta Diop have long proved the cultural unity of Africa that can be seen through all of its civilizations, including ancient Kemet. And linguists such as Dr. Theophilo Benga, Jean-Claude Mboli, and Asar Imhotep continue to bring more evidence of a cultural and linguistic unity that continues on the continent and abroad. And that unity does not end with skin color, because at the foundation of all Indo-European language is an African language. The ancient Kpr root is also in Indo-European languages.
Fly in English is the same word, except we don't have the k prefix sound in there in the word fly. And so the word, the phoneme R is now L in English, and the P sound is F, in English. It's just simply the word. It's a very old word. It's all the Indo-European is in every African language.
You've heard it? So who knows? Maybe the English word fly derives from the Medu Neter Kheper. Whoever's interested can ask some linguists. But at some point, it's can't stop, won't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. Yesterday when I ended the live stream, I wanted to play the outro. By mistake, I just ended the broadcast. So I will play the outro. Remember to support your brother. If you want accurate information, if you want information that would not get you laughed at, the information that I've been presenting over the years, people would take you seriously. But then if you want to dwell in the world of pseudo, then by all means, go ahead. It's your right. Stay safe, stay healthy. If I'm allowed to by the Neteru, I will definitely holler back at you. Hope that.
Now, for the record, for those who don't know, I'm giving Medu Neter classes. And here, that's the flyer. Okay? So, those who are interested, feel free to holler at me. If you're not interested, it's cool. But I recommend that everybody who has not yet seen the video Kemet and Ma'at before Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, then watch it. It has about 300,000 views and really deserves to have a lot more.
I just want to let everyone know who's listening in now and who's going to listen to this this stream in the future. I just had my first Meta Nature class by Brother Shaka today, and I've had other Meta Nature lessons by other teachers, and I can tell you right now, the brother is the best in the game. He is that was one of the best classes I've ever had, ever. So if you're interested in learning the Meta Nature, if you're interested in getting the basics of it, Brother Shaka is an awesome teacher. Get with him, and it's extremely affordable. This brother is giving us his time and his skills, and he's basically giving it away. I mean, I just consider it a donation. You know what I'm saying? So if anybody is interested in learning the Meta Nature, get with this brother right here. He's an awesome teacher. And I'll end with that.
Hotep Senu, Hena Senut. This is Julie, also known as Servant of Yah, and I'm currently taking the Medu Neture classes with Brother Shaka, and it has been an amazing experience. Only 2 lessons so far, and I feel like I've been taking the classes for months, just with the how in depth he goes into the vocabulary words, the construction of the language, the grammar. It's been immeasurable, the experience. And one thing that comes across, hands down, is his extreme passion for teaching this to anyone who is willing to learn and has an interest in learning. So I highly suggest, if you are interested, even a minimal interest, that you subscribe to the classes with Brother Shaka. It's such a nominal amount for how much you get. I know, like, our last class was over 2.5 hours. It felt like 2 minutes, but because that's how, involved you are in what he's teaching and how he teaches and how compassionate he is about what he teaches. Also with sharing materials free of charge, no question, no doubt. It's just what he does. He doesn't have to, but he does. And so I just wanted to give a short testimonial about the class and the effectiveness of the class, and all of that is attested to how studied Brother Shaka is. So I highly recommend anyone with a minimal interest that you do sign up for the Medu Neture class. Hotep.
Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, which is Ma'at Forever. Don't forget to watch the video entitled Kemet and Ma'at. Don't forget to share Kemet and Ma'at on my channel on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, or other social media that you use. Email, text messages, you name it. Those who wish to donate can do so on paypal.me/ma'atforever.